You brought up brainwashing. That's something I take very seriously, since I actually was subjected to some brainwashing. I took a workshop. It was a self-help workshop, and it was advertised through education that this was an educational program. So I got tricked by education, and they used my friends and my family as a means of a vehicle. And then she talked about the things that someone, that just kind of rotten things that people would do if they were going to like intimidate or break you. What would they do to you? Would they sit you in chairs for hours and hours? Only they would tell you when you could get up to go to the bathroom, or when you could eat, what you would eat, and how much time you had to eat. And if you didn't follow those very strict rules, which were determined to make somebody screw up, so they could be the guinea pig, stand up and get ridiculed. I should have known when they had me sign a contract, re-sign it in ink, because I thought it was so much crap. I signed it in pencil, thinking, you know what, this is a contract between me and myself and I. What I get out of this. But something else is going on there. And it is amazing. All their devotees, they caught it. And they made me sign it in ink. Man. All the chairs are real close together. You have to be touching somebody else. I mean, it's uncomfortable. You have to be touching somebody else. And I watched, a young couple like to hold hands, split them apart. We couldn't really talk to anyone. I mean, we're so close, we couldn't talk to anyone. There was water in the room that they offered, but it was impossible to get up from your seat without disturbing like everybody, because you're just scrunched in there like sardines. And the room was big enough where we could have all been comfortable, but the chairs were set up in a way, I mean, that they would not allow you to move them. And then they put people in situations where they just unload their baggage, but there's no one to help them pick it up. And people start talking about suicide. Here, 23 people, suicide, and I tell you, alarms in my head were going ding, 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 ding. What am I doing here? This is not what I had bargained for. This is not going to be how am I going to sell my art? How am I going to have a great marriage? This is something different. Something very different. But I paid $400, and they said, just stick with it, just stick with the program. It's going to work for you. You got to wait till the very end. I was already dedicated for the weekend. Where was I going to go? I was out of town by myself. We got there like early. And we stayed there till after midnight. And then we were sent home with homework to do. And don't be late getting up in the morning. We're going to ridicule you and rip you a new one. By the third night, and I was watching people try to leave and they couldn't. And I realized why. I just said to stick it out. I'm a patient person. I'm going to stick it out. Why try to leave to have them hound you by phone and by car. They got all your information. You signed it away with a stupid contract. When we had to put our heads between our knees and imagine the worst thing possible happening, while he screamed at us, and women were crying like little babies. I mean, weeping like brand new little babies, crying out for some attention. And he yelled, "Shut up! Shut up! Don't look! Let her cry! Don't answer her!" But she cried louder. For months after that, I would go into a grocery store and I'd see babies crying and mothers ignoring their children. I felt like the whole world was under some kind of spell, some brainwashing. It was bad. And once his voice got into your head, you couldn't get it out. But, you know, that was a godless corporation, a big corporate cult. And it was evil. It was evil. You can get people's money a whole lot faster if they're brainwashed. I learned a lesson. I was stupid. A stupid American. Naive. I really didn't think that. I thought that kind of brainwashing only could happen in a religious cult. Wow. Anyway, just thought I'd share that little tidbit of my life with whoever cares.